everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I want to start off by saying I apologize for the length of time in recording videos here and getting them posted, but I thought I was going to be ready to get everything done right before Easter and right after Easter, and then I came down with a really nasty stomach virus and yeah, plans and all that. So anyways, today we are trying out the other foundation that you guys really wanted to see, which is the FORD Traceless Perfecting Foundation. And then just for the fun of it, I thought we'd try another new primer. Ta-da! Because you guys have asked about this. This is the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas. So if you're interested in checking these out and a few other new products, stay tuned. Okay, first off, as you guys can probably tell, my hair looks a lot different. Let's zoom you out here. I don't have to zoom out very far for you to be able to see it because it ends right there. Can you believe it? Jeez. Looks kind of a little messed up right now, but if you didn't see my video right after I got my hair cut, you can take a peek at that and see what it looks like. For those of you that are new to our channel, I'd like to start off by introducing myself. I am Shelby. I am the mom portion of Beauty.Mom. You, I promise, will see my daughter, which is Bree, very shortly. We'll be doing our beauty boxes. When she's in school, you don't see a whole lot of her because that's a priority for her to get her education, and that's a priority for me for her. So anyways, and let's see here. Oh God, I'm just out of recording for a few days, and your brain just, it's like you forget what to say in the flow of how to say things, I swear. As I told you guys in a couple of videos ago, we're gonna do call outs. So this call out I would like to give to Nova. Nova, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. You know, since you subscribed to our channel, you know, you've just been so interactive. You comment on every video. You're always positive. I just, you know, Bree and I, we just want to say how much we appreciate you, and having people like you as subscribers, it just makes it all worth it. So thank you so much, Nova, for being an important part of our channel. Okay, now let's get to what you came here to see. First off, I want to start off with, this is a new product. All these are new products to me. You guys are going to be seeing me use them for the first time. So I'm going to Sephora online here to look at this. This is called the Silk Canvas Protective Primer, and it's by Tatcha. You get a total of 20 grams or 0.7 ounces, and it retails for $52. As I'm looking at this right now, it is currently out of stock on Sephora. Been a real popular item, but I'm sure they will have it back in stock in no time. And I did purchase this literally right when it released, so I'm showing it pretty quick. Okay, and let's read what it says. It says that this product is good for normal, oily, combination, dry, and sensitive skin. So the whole thing. And it says what it is: a velvety priming balm of pressed silk that smooths and makes makeup last longer while keeping it out of skin. Helping to prevent clogged pores and breakouts. And it says it's solutions for pores, oiliness, dullness, and uneven texture. And it says this multitasking, skin protecting, makeup perfecting primer is for face, eyes, and lips. Well, I didn't know that. Silk extracts feel nourishing on the skin and diminish the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections for the perfect canvas before makeup. Silk powder makes makeup glide on more evenly and last longer, minimizing excess shine with a soft focus finish. A protective layer derived from botanicals acts as a barrier between makeup and skin, helping to prevent clogged pores that can lead to breakouts. Anti-pollution, natural active ingredients fight immediate attack from environmental stressors and help support the skin's barrier function to act against future attacks, visibly reducing the appearance of wrinkles and dullness. Pink and gold pearls help to even skin tone for a healthy look. Hadasai 3, a trinity of Japanese superfoods, green tea, rice, and algae, visibly restores youthful radiance. Like with all Tatcha's products, as you guys know, if you watch my earlier video, I'm testing a bunch of Tatcha products right now, and I actually have these two on my skin as prep right now, which is the Essence Plumping Skin Softener and Radiant Deep Brightening Serum. And so far, I have other products of theirs I'm testing as well right now that I'll let you guys know in a future video. I'm really enjoying them so far. And like all Tatcha products, everything's blue on the inside, or blue purple, and comes with, all of Tatcha comes like this. So, except for this is in a silver bag, which is not what I'm accustomed to seeing with Tatcha. And this little guy just fell out. Looks like a little plastic disc. Well, this is interesting. I have never seen Tatcha package things like this. I assume this is just to let you know that it's brand new and... Well, that's nice. Oh, what a beautiful... And there we have her. Very typical Tatcha. Real pretty packaging. Oh, look at that. It has... If you've tried Tatcha products before, it has the same fragrances like their water cream, their night cream. If you haven't, I would, it almost has what I would describe like a green tea type fragrance, but for those of us that aren't familiar with that, it reminds me, believe it or not, of a soap I used when I was younger. Okay, let's read the instructions on these before we do it, because I'm not one of those reviewers who's going to try and use products without reading. Okay, now it says that this little round disc is actually for dispensing. It says glide the round scoop across the surface until the primer reaches the line marked. Oh, I see. And then warm between fingertips and press into skin in upward strokes. Use as last step in skincare before makeup. Okay, so on this side, you see the little line there. So you're supposed to use this and scrape, I assume, scrape across the top of this product until it fills that. Okay, first off, let's get our hair back, and there goes the bangs. Okay, we are ready. Well, I almost hate to scrape this across it because it's so pretty. Just looks like a smooth, kind of peachy colored balm. Well, you don't want to dig in real deep on this though. I mean, let's try her out. Okay, we finally reached. So that's what it looks like after. And there's approximately how much I have. Oh, it feels cool. And they say to rub, it feels really cool. Really cooling. Yeah, it smells like Tatcha. Rub it between your fingertips to warm it up. Oh, that's a lot of primer. Holy cow, and I haven't even used half of it. Of course, I probably should have done what I usually do and tried it on one side. You'll have to forgive me, guys. It's just one of those days. I'm telling you, right now I feel like being in bed, not recording, so my brain is probably gonna be hijacked today. Normally, when I'm testing a new primer, I would just do it on half of my face, but since I already scraped off all this, we're just gonna go ahead and go with it. Because we all know what my skin looks like by now, and if you don't, you can watch one of many of the Foundation Over 40 videos and check it out. And I'll be able to tell you, most important, whether or not it makes a difference. Because I know my skin. Let's try putting some in the wrinkles, since they say it's supposed to help with that. Those smile wrinkles are massive. But hey, it means I smile a lot. And let's put some by my little, or not so little, crow's feet up here. Caw-caw, caw-caw. That's not a crow, whatever. And they say it helps with eyes, so let's try. See if it'll smooth out my wrinkly. Aren't I just being self-complimentary today? I'll tell you. I can tell you one thing, it looks really nice on my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see that, but wow, I sure can. It feels really nice on the skin, or on my skin. God, I hate it when people do that. The skin, the eye, it's mine. Why do I say the? Feels very nice on my skin. It doesn't feel, you know, like a lot of primers that, in my experience, feel really heavy with dimethicones, and this doesn't. What it feels like is a really, really nice, silky moisturizer. Tell you one thing, the box definitely does not fit. Most Tatcha products, their box always fits the product, but they made the box a little bit bigger in this one apparently for that silver bag, and it no longer fits. And I'll be trying this more in the future, of course. You'll see me use it many, many, many times. This is just going to be a first impression, see how I like it. Okay, now one other new thing I purchased here that I want to try out. I've never tried any products from Eve Pearl. And I saw this, she has some eyeshadow palettes that I'd like to try, just for the heck of it. But I saw this is called the Dual Salmon Concealer. And I picked this up in the shade Fair. And I did buy this from, I believe, QVC. And it came with a little brush here. So there's the container. And this has, let's see, what is it? 4.5 grams or 0.16 ounces. So let's see what she looks like. So there it is. Not a huge difference I see in color, but let's, oh wow, it's very, I just barely touched it and it responded immediately to the warmth of my skin. Wow. Let's try the other one. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I can see the difference. This one over here, they're hard to see on my skin here, has more of a salmony tint, and this one more of a neutral. So, yeah. But I wanted to try this under my eyes to see if it would help with the discoloration. First, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add my Becca Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. I have continued to use this since the first impression video I recorded on it, and I have continued to enjoy it. You know, sometime I'm going to have to do a time lapse on this, put this on, and then just sit still and do a time lapse so you guys can actually see the difference. Because, I mean, really, every time I've used this, like right now, the difference is absolutely no question. Look at this eye compared to this eye. And I'll get zoomed in so you can really see. But this eye here is higher now. The depth where my hollowness is here is up higher than it is on this side. I mean, there's just no question. You know, I just put that eye on and it's starting now to go up, so the difference isn't as noticeable. See that? I'm telling you, I don't know what they have, what ingredients they have in this that have this kind of immediate effect on the under eye area. But this is probably, in terms of tightening, lifting, this is probably one of the better products I've used in a very, very long time. Okay. Now, let's go, I don't know if I want to use this brush or not. Let's take a look at it. This is just, she has a number 102 for this brush. This looks like a concealer brush, so we might as well give it a try. I'm going to go with the more peachy toned one, since that's really why I wanted to get this, to try it out. So let's see what she does. I need my mirror higher. Let's try this and see if it makes a difference in my dark circles. Put it everywhere where I have darkness here. There's one eye. What do we think? Make a difference? Looks like it did a little bit. I'm gonna try and just see if it'll cover up the lovely blue veining I have on my eyelids. Okay, so there's one eye with the corrector, with the Eve Pearl Dual Salmon Concealer. Looks like it did a pretty good job of cutting out not only the redness, but the veins, and I can still see some of the blue, but what I really like is it's not giving me that crepey, nasty, dry look under my eyes. So there we have it after the Eve Pearl Dual Corrector. Okay, so now let's move along to Tom Ford. Okay, I am on Beautylicious website. You can buy Tom Ford through Nordstrom's, Macy's, Tom Ford, but I purchased mainly through Beautylish. And again, this is the Traceless Perfecting Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 15. And I have this in the shade 1.5 Cream. And boy, am I hoping this is going to be right. This foundation comes in 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters standard and retails for $85. And what it says about it: for Tom Ford, a flawless complexion is the essential first step to a balanced and symmetrical face. The natural finish, long-wearing, humidity-resistant foundation hydrates an even skin tone, creating a flawless, supple, and poreless canvas on which to sculpt the features. Its state-of-the-art formulation includes the skin-nourishing Tom Ford Infusing Complex, whatever that is, to help smooth and renew skin and help diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And it claims to be medium to full coverage, have a natural finish, and a neutral undertone. And for this particular one, there are 5-star ratings on Beautylish for it. So let's see what we got here. I'm praying I've got the right color, because one thing about Beautylicious website that really needs improvement, you know, it's hard to tell colors on a website to begin with, but theirs is especially difficult. Water-based foundation, and it appears to be very heavy with dimethicones, since dimethicone is the second ingredient in here, and then there's many different variations of that in here. Let's see here, it's heavy in glycerin. You all know what I'm looking for. It has shea butter in it. Well, I am very, very happy to announce that this does not have denatured alcohol in it. So, yay, Tom Ford, thank you very much. Oh, look at that. What a pretty container. Look at that. So this is one of these airless. I really like these, you guys. You know, this is the kind of stuff I expect to see for luxury price point too. And when I say airless, I'm not sure if you can be able to see this or not, but this outside just casing here, if you look through it, it's see-through, and you look through it, you can actually see the product in there, but the product is contained within another container in there. And basically what that does, and it must have a pop top, yep, and see it has a pop top here. So what happens is that the product pulls from within that container in there, and that's an airtight container that's within this one. I really like that, because not only does it keep it, you know, from breaking down, like for instance, this foundation's probably going to last me, I mean obviously depending on ingredients and what preservatives and stuff they have, but just going off of the way it's packaged here, this, you know, if we were to take something that had identical ingredients and put it in just a standard, you know, container that you open and close every day like that, this is going to last me way longer because the air has no way to get to it. I really, really like this. That's nice. And you can see the internal container here as I spin it, because the product goes up and down inside. See that? Real nice. Okay, so let's see if we've got a color that's gonna work. So there's a little bit of the product. It doesn't appear to be very runny. It appears to be a little thicker. Now what I'm going to do, as normal, is on half my face I'm going to use the Morphe E6, and on the other half I'll use my Beauty Blender just to see if there's a difference. Oh, this is too dark. Oh, I ordered the lightest one they had. Well, just have to give her a try and see what happens. Let's start with the sponge. Well, the color's not too terribly off. It's definitely probably a shade too dark for me though. I'm going to try and build it a little bit because right now I'm barely getting medium coverage right now. I have a feeling I'm going to get better coverage with the brush with this particular foundation. So I'm just going to try and build it up a little here. Okay, so there is the half with the Beauty Blender. So let's try the other side and use a brush. Actually, you know what? I think I got better coverage with the Beauty Blender on this one because I can see a whole lot more of my skin tone, my skin through this still than I could the first time with the Beauty Blender. So let's build it up a little bit. And I'm going to use the Beauty Blender. Okay, so there we have it. Other than the color that's off, I would not call this, I don't know what you have to do to get this to full coverage. I think you'd have to build it up quite a bit, and quite honestly, not only for how much it is, but how thick of a formula it is. I don't think it would look nice on my skin, my particular skin built up. But it's really, I'm actually pretty impressed with how it looks on my skin. It looks really pretty and it has a nice glow to it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've got some light reflecting off of my cheekbones here. And obviously I just have the foundation on. It does still feel tacky, but this side feels like it's set down a little more than this side has, so. But I would call this a medium coverage foundation. I wouldn't call this a full coverage foundation. At least not in my experience right now. From what I'm seeing, and I even layered it up more as you guys saw on my cheeks, and I can still see some discoloration through. So, but it's really pretty. It appears real pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as usual, for those of you that are new to my foundation over 40s, now that I've got this on, I'm going to break away, go do my makeup. And after my makeup is completely done, I will come back for a check-in. We'll see how it looks then. I'll break away again, and then at the end of the evening, I will come back for a final check-in. So I will be back with you as soon as my makeup's done. Bye. Okay, so we are back several hours later. In the break, you notice I have eyeshadow on. I filmed a quick review on the Pat McGrath Mini Mothership palette. So if you're interested in seeing that, keep an eye out. It will be coming soon if it's not up already. So let's take a peek at this foundation. Well, I can tell you this much. My forehead looks beautiful in my opinion. I don't see, I mean, I can see, I obviously have wrinkles, but they're not like screaming out and the foundation's not diving into them like a landfill or, separating out. So that looks good so far. My smile lines, I'll tell you, that's just the worst problem I have. It's done the same thing. See right here, you guys? Zoom in close, and right here, see where my smile goes in there? That's the worst thing about smiling all the time, is you get these very serious canyons in your face. And as you can see, the foundation has pulled away from this wrinkle here, from my smile line. Anybody want to give me some Juvederm in there? That's what I need. I need some Juvederm in here and whatever they put under the eyes. Then I'll be a hot mama. No, but yeah, it's all the way along my smile line here. The foundation has pulled away. It hasn't sunk in, it's pulled away. And if you remember, I talked about the two different things I look for with how a foundation responds to wrinkles, and that it either goes into the wrinkle and sinks into the wrinkle, or it pulls away from the wrinkle. And in this case, it's pulling away, which tells me that this foundation doesn't have a lot of flexibility to the formula, because if it had a lot of flexibility, it wouldn't be breaking apart where there's a lot of movement in my face like it is right now. Other than that, I mean, my chin still looks good, which is, a problem area for me. So it's looking good so far. I've had it on now for 4.5 hours. That's the time it took me not only to apply it, but to apply the rest of my makeup. And after I did that, I should have come back here, but since my eyeshadow and stuff wasn't done yet, I recorded the Pat McGrath video. So 4.5 hours I've had this on, and it is almost 4 o'clock now. Of course, my phone's deciding to, so it is 3:49 p.m. right now. So we'll call it 4 o'clock just for the hell of it. And I will come back one more time later this evening for my final check-in to see how it's held up and see if it sticks. I can see though that it, this is a foundation, at least from my first impression of what I'm seeing here. This is something I wouldn't wear if I was, going somewhere long term, if I needed it to really hold up a lot, because everywhere where I have wrinkles, where there's movement in my face here around my mouth, you see right here it's doing the same thing. Look real close right here at these wrinkles that go off my mouth that I still can't figure out where the hell they came from. Right there. And you can see that the foundation is pulled away there as well. So it's not reacting real well to movement, but everywhere else it's doing beautifully. So it's a pretty foundation. This, in my first opinion right now, seeing this, is that this is a foundation that would probably wear really beautiful on people who didn't have a lot of wrinkles. It's responding well to my wrinkles in other areas, like around my eyes here and on my forehead, but where there's movement in my face, it's not responding well. Well, that's interesting, because, hang on here, it pulled away from the wrinkle up here, but in the deepest part of the wrinkle here, it sank into it. So yeah. So anyways, that's my check-in for now. I will be back in a little bit for our very last check-in, and we'll see how this one holds up. Until then, love you. Mwah. Okay, we are back for our final check-in. So let's get our mirror up here. And excuse me if I'm a mess. Oh, I'm a mess. Okay, and I wore my glasses as usual for the fellow glasses wearers of the world. So let's take a peek at how she did. Well, not too bad on the nose, on the schnoz. Didn't do too good on the wrinkles around the mouth, though. That really, it's really a shame, because it held up, you can see the wrinkles on my forehead more now, but still, well, the foundation went into them actually. I can see that here, but it's not super obvious. But around my mouth, it looks like I've been doing something I shouldn't have been doing. It's sunk into, you can see right here, these lovely wrinkles that come off my mouth here. I mean, I just can't figure out where those came from. I can't figure out what kind of expression would make those downward slashing wrinkles there. I just hate them. I absolutely, there's not very many things in the world I say I hate, but I hate those. That and this. Hate it. And it's wore off here on my nose. This whole section right here on my nose. I have no clue why it's wore off just right there. I mean, there's like, I don't know if you guys can see the pinkness there. There's like no foundation there at all. Cheeks look really good, as they usually do. I mean, I don't have too much of a problem with them. It's, again, this is my area. It's my problem areas around my mouth because of my smile wrinkles here. So far, the only foundations I've found that have not sunk into those have been the by Terry Terribly Denseless that I did, and that was luxury, and the Wet n Wild photo finish that was drugstore. Those are the only two foundations I've tried so far that have not sunk in or pulled away from these smile lines. Yeah. So, I mean, you can see yourself if you look here, I'll get in close so you can see. And in the deepest part of my wrinkles right here, in the smile part, the foundation is sunk in. And in the rest of it, this line going down here, it's pulled away. And then whatever this slashy mark wrinkle is there, it's also sunk into. So, I don't know. I mean, I think this one, excuse me. I don't know. I'm really torn, you guys. What do you think? First off, I do need a lighter shade. I know that for a fact. This is 1.5 cream. But, Beautylicious website, in my opinion, at least on the app, which is how I primarily shop, is not good for showing colors. And so I went to Tom Ford's website, and it was no better. It didn't tell me which one was lighter, which one was the lightest, nothing. So I assume since this is 1.5, they have a lighter shade, but who knows? If I could get a lighter shade, I'd be much happier, because I think this is just a shade too dark. It looks beautiful everywhere except for in my wrinkles, that in the area where my wrinkles are really moving a lot. In other words, this whole area here. As for the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer we tried, I'm going to have to try this again. I'm not going to say anything on it one way or the other right now because I did the unfortunate thing of putting it over my entire face, which makes it so I really can't tell whether it made a difference or not. I will say that my pores look a little bit smoother. I don't have huge pores, but you can see them, and they look less visible than they normally do. I think that, I don't have a huge amount of texture, and I mainly have the wrinkles, and I do have some pores here, and then my chin in this area is the problem. So it's hard to tell whether or not it did a whole lot, because, my skin looks fairly smooth, and my pores look good, but it's just hard to tell. So I'm going to try this again. I'm not going to, say, I don't want to say one way or the other on something if I'm not 100% sure. And God's honest truth, I'm just not 100% sure. So I'm going to try this in my next foundation over 40 that I do with half and half like usual instead of doing the whole darn face. And I also will continue, I'll also use the Eve Pearl, this Dual Salmon Concealer some more, because I'm not really sure about it either, to be honest with you. I don't know, I mean, you know, it seems as though it did fairly good on my under eyes, but I don't know that I really can say it canceled out enough of the darkness for me. So I think what I'm going to do is on the next foundation over 40 I do, I'm going to do half my face with the Tatcha Silk Primer, and then I'm going to do half my face with Eve Pearl's Dual Salmon Concealer, and I'll do the other half with my normal Giorgio Armani cover-up that I use. And we'll see which one works better there, because that's the way I'm really going to be able to tell. So anyways, you know, I think this this Tom Ford Traceless Perfecting Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 15, I think it's a beautiful foundation. You know, when you look at the areas of my skin where I don't have the issues of movement with wrinkles, it looks beautiful. It's held up beautiful. It's held on to my product beautifully. Product blended on top of it beautifully. And by the way, I did lightly powder my face with the Givenchy Prism Libra loose powder, because this, you know, even though I waited for it to kind of settle down and not be tacky, it was still pretty tacky. But after I went over it with the Givenchy powder, it just felt beautiful. It just set right into my skin. I haven't felt it moving. I haven't had a problem with transfer on anything. As you can see, my products are still very much there. I just noticed I totally forgot to put highlighter on today, but that's okay. But, you know, other than that, I think it's a really pretty foundation. I think it's going to kind of be up to you to decide whether or not it's worth $85 to you. You know, the amount that I had to use today to get this coverage, I would say that this would probably go pretty fast for me. You know, I mean, obviously there's 1 ounce of product in there, but I don't know. I think I'm going to have to try this one some more. But I'll tell you one thing. I will say this. I'm not displeased with it, which is really important to me, because when you're paying almost $100 for a foundation, obviously you don't want to have anything that you're displeased with. I just wish that it had more flexibility in the formula, so that it wasn't, you know, where I'm having all this movement around where there's wrinkles, that it's not moving with those. So Tom Ford has some other foundations I'd really like to try. My ultimate goal of what I'm looking for is the foundation that looks beautiful on the skin, but that can, you know, that has a flexible barrier in it, you know, where it's going to stick to the skin and flex with the skin, excuse me, where it's not going to break apart or sink into wrinkles. That's my ultimate goal. So anyways, that's it for now, you guys. And like I said, I'll revisit the Tatcha issue, and I will revisit the Eve Pearl in an upcoming video, and we'll try those again. So I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're doing well, and if you're having struggles, you're beating the bitches back and persevering. And remember, never give in, never give up, never take no for an answer. All to you out there, love and respect. Bye!